Now's the time to dive into the fictional city of New Bordeaux and the third incarnation of the Mafia series titled, of course, Mafia 3, published by 2K Games and developed by Hangar 13. Can the third installment of this mafioso trilogy live up to the legacy set by its predecessors? Hangar 13 wanted to make a point to cover the significance of the American civil rights movement within their game, not pulling any punches in portraying an accurately represented time period. It was for that reason that they chose to set the game in 1968, the year we saw the first interracial kiss on national television, but also the year that we lost the great Martin Luther King Jr. The racial divide is easy to see, with Lincoln Clay constantly being bombarded with prejudice and racial slurs that were all too common during the time period. Another really phenomenal aspect of this game is the sound design. The voice actors really put everything into it, and their hard work pays off. This really is an example of some of the best voice acting I've ever heard in a video game, which is saying something. Not to mention dozens of top hits of the generation that really immerse you in this rich world. I admit, I really wanted to like this game. Unfortunately for the writers and sound engineers who spent so much time creating wonderful and likable characters and a finely crafted story to match the significance of the period, the development team just couldn't match their level of quality. Marred by lackluster gameplay, repetitive objectives, graphical errors, and gameplay bugs, even a few game-breaking glitches. These enjoyable cutscenes became a chore as I had to reload the game just to skip through them. Not to mention the graphics looked more like a high-end Xbox 360 game than anything possible on our current generation. When the gameplay is functional, and to be fair, it typically is with a solid cover system, problems arise with weak-feeling guns that don't really do much unless you score a headshot, turning enemies into unresponsive bullet sponges. Driving that can go from feeling like you're on an ice rink to a tar pit in a moment's notice, it really becomes apparent with no fast travel system in an admittedly well-sized map. It tends to pile up and bog down what could be a great experience. In the end, I did continue to play the game just to see what the story had to offer, because I cannot stress enough how good the storytelling and sound of this game is. If not for the gameplay and design of it all, we'd be seeing a much higher score. But even still, because of those faults, we have to award Mafia 3 a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'm Garrett, and this has been Heads Up Display. For more reviews, be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest content.